Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something a little different. To celebrate Halloween, I'm going to be talking about one of the creepiest things that ever happened to me. This starts back during my time working at Chick-fil-A. I worked there for a little while. Most of my time was spent working in the kitchen. And more often than not, when we would get done, Chick-fil-A closes at 10. We'd be done around 10:30 or 11. We'd go out to the parking lot, talk for a minute. I'd head home and be home around 11:30 or 12. And tonight was no different. We close at 10. We're out of the store and in the parking lot by 10:30 or 11, just hanging out talking for a minute. We talk for 15-20 minutes, and then I go to head home. Now, when I get home, I pull into my driveway, and there's two things I always take with me to work at that time, and that was a book bag and an apron. And every time I would get down and go grab those. So I get out of my car, I bend down to grab them, and right when I do, I see just across the street at my neighbor's house something that is a little weird. And to sort of paint the picture for you, you have my driveway that I just pulled into, and across the street away from me is a house, a bend of where my neighborhood turns. I may put a picture up, I'm not sure yet, haven't decided, but out from that house is a little extension of woods. And at the edge of those woods, just on the outside of that tree line, I see standing there some type of person or humanoid object shaped thing in all black. And this thing had a black hoodie on. Could not see the face, but I could tell that it looked something like a person. And I remember standing there looking at it for a moment and thinking, I'm not really sure what's going on, but this looks a little weird. I kept looking for, a few seconds trying to figure out what is this thing, but then I thought, you know what? It's not moving at all. It's not a person. It just isn't. I don't know why it would be, but it's not. So I get down, grab my stuff, head inside, glance at it one more time, just like a weird kind of thing. At that point, I head inside and, after a long day of work, one of the things I'd like to do was just drop my stuff off and shower, just get nice and clean. Working with chicken and cooking over oil, it kind of gets on you a little bit, and you can just feel a thin layer of gross on you. So I went to shower, and when I got out of the shower, I dried off, got ready for bed, just threw on, a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt. It's usually what I ended up sleeping in. Put all that stuff on, plugged my phone in, and as soon as I did, I saw that the time was 4:30 in the morning. And just saying that may not seem that weird, it may not be that out of place or that uncommon. Being a college-aged kid, being a gamer, probably doesn't sound outlandish for me to be up that late. The weird part was that from the time that I got home, around 11:30 or 12, and got out of the shower, 4 hours had passed. 4.5 hours, somewhere around there, had passed. Now, there are many arguments that can be made here. One being that I fell asleep when I got home. I fell asleep in the shower. I lost time somewhere. Now, this is a fairly common thing that happens to people. You can just lose time. Your brain shuts off, or you fall asleep unexpectedly. However, I've never experienced that issue in my life up until that point, and haven't since. So what sketches me out about all of it is that almost always when I fall asleep, I wake up what feels like a short amount of time later, as with any nap. And if it's been a few hours, I think to myself, oh man, that sucks. I slept way longer than I meant to or wanted to. I feel really groggy and just now, and I don't ever remember feeling that. 2, falling asleep in the car, and normally you'd lay your seat back. The seat was not ever laid back. I never had to bring it back up that morning or that night. And 3, with the shower, I've never fallen asleep in the shower, and I've never been able to stand or sit straight up and sleep. Every part of my body more or less lets go and gives up when I fall asleep. There's been times where I am dozing off, and as I'm asleep, sitting up, I'll fall over and catch myself and pick myself up. That's how I know that I just didn't. I have never done that, and I don't know that I physically would have the ability to do that. So, unfortunately, and what really freaks me out, because it hasn't happened since, and I have no idea what it was. When I got out of my car and I looked across the street and I saw that hooded figure, I was caught into some kind of trance, or sent into some kind of trance, for almost 4 hours. Now, whether or not you want to subscribe to that, or believe that, or say, yeah, sure, that sounds plausible, is up to you, obviously. I don't really know a more reasonable explanation or any way to think about it. There's a chance that I lost the time, and just don't know where it went. Either way, it's concerning and creepy as hell, because that time is gone. That's 4 hours, 4.5 hours of my life that I just don't know about. And that's the only time it's ever happened to me in my life. It's not happened since. It hadn't happened up until that point. But for whatever reason, the night that I saw that hooded figure, whether that's related or not, I've not noticed anything like that since, and I hadn't up until that point. Once again, same thing as losing the time. But as soon as I did, I lost 4.5 hours. Just gone. I, to this day, have no idea what it was, what it could have been, or what I think really happened. You know, obviously for the sake of this video, I kind of want it to be the crazier thing that happened. Realistically, it could have been something completely 100% normal. It probably was. Let's be honest. But it's still really weird to think that 4 hours of my life are erased from my memory. I have no idea what they were, what happened, and as far as I know, I was under no influence of any kind as far as drugs or alcohol. I was at work, and I don't drink anyway, so anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, it was just a really weird moment in my life, a little snapshot, a very strange one to say the least. And I just want to share it with you guys. I've never talked about that on camera. I've not really mentioned it to many people just because it seems so out there and weird. And it's not even like something that I think is really cool, so I tell people about it because it'll get me attention, because I'm not really much of an attention whore. Like, I don't really love it to be the center of attention, even though I have a YouTube channel and record. Never mind. The point is, I didn't make this up. I saw a black hooded figure, and 4 hours of my life are gone. I don't know if it's because of the black hooded figure, or if it's something wrong with my brain that shows up every couple of years. I guess we'll find out coming up soon, because it's been 3 or 4 years since that's happened. So I don't really know. It really freaks me out talking about it, and yeah, it was a very strange thing that happened to me. So I thought I would share it with you all and get your opinion on it. If you think it was something perfectly normal, call me out on it. Let me hear an explanation. I want to hear some scientific terminology that I can go look up and study and see if maybe I have something wrong with me mentally. You know, because self-diagnosis of mental problems seems to be the thing to do on YouTube nowadays. If you just enjoyed it for what it was, a nice creepy little story on Halloween, feel free to like it and comment, you know, about it. Or if you think that this is somehow connected or tied to something in a bigger way, fill me in, because I might need to know what's coming after me. Yeah, if you, so that's gonna be the end of this video. If you liked it, be sure to like. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you, love you the most. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so while you're here. If you didn't care for it, feel free to dislike. But if you do, fuck you, and as always, be sure to enjoy yourselves. And until the next video or live stream, because I tend to do a little bit of both, stay frosty and stay humble.